Guitar player also, yeah. So you're the newest in the band, but how come such a big
We just didn't really like the way things were going, and we weren't really getting a lot of support from our record company, and they were trying to change us. And Megadeth plays Megadeth music. We've done some songs that were from movies and stuff, and sometimes you have to, think about the movie when you're writing a song. But when people tried to change us, it just started to piss me off, and that's why we let them all go.
To what direction they want to change you, like pop?
Well, the metal scene in America disappeared. The metal magazines folded, the metal stations went away, Headbangers Ball on MTV went away. There was no place for metal bands anymore. They even said if you were a metal band, you were dead. So instead of breaking up, we kind of adjusted our music a little bit to stick around until the scene came back. And fortunately for us now, the scene is strong in America again. So we made a Megadeth record that's typical of the music that we're famous for, real heavy stuff.
So Al, you're new in the band, so what do you think you brought to the band, to a new record?
When I first joined the band, I was such a fan of, the earlier Megadeth works, as Dave was writing songs and I'd be around and listening to the riffs as they were coming together, I'd kind of smile and he'd look up and he's like, what? I was like, oh, that's great. It sounds like something from Rust in Peace or Countdown. Just I really enjoyed hearing a renaissance taking place, And now that I'm involved, I'd like to take credit for a part of that.
Yeah, sure. Hey, The World Needs a Hero, it's a title, and right. You said in some interview that the world needs a hero because Axl Rose killed all the rock and roll stars.
No, that's not the way that it actually went. The world needs a hero was a statement from our promoter in Japan, and he said that to me. He said, Dave, the world needs a hero, and I said, I agree. What I said was that there are no more rock stars because Axl killed the rock star, and I have nothing against Axl Rose. I like him. I think he's okay. But there was a period where after the Guns N' Roses concerts and people having to wait many hours for them to come on, young bands, they did not want to be perceived like that, so they're like non-rock stars now in music, and I agree with them. I wouldn't want to be like that.
How do you define like a rock and roll star? What's the definition for it?
Well, I'm a rock star, Axl's a rock star. There's two totally different things. It's really hard to say, who's what, but when we go on and we're on time. When they go on whenever they want to, and I think that, if you're going to play music and you're going to go out there and entertain people, that you have to think about the fact that there's a lot of people that, come to the concerts to see you, and they travel a long way, they take trains and crap like that to get there, and they don't want to sit around and wait all night.
Yeah. I heard your name has something to do with Finland, the Mustaine.
It's supposed to be Mustaine.
Mustaine.
Yeah, so I have Finnish ancestry.
Was it your grandfather or something?
It's on my father's side, a couple generations back.
All right. Because I was thinking about the Finnish thing, because we have one Finnish guy over here at the picture. Do you recognize the guy? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the most famous guy of Finland, but because we were thinking about that, he looks a lot like you, and we tried him with the long hair, and he looks like that. You can have it.
You suck.
What do you think, Al? Does he look like him?
It's terrible.
I'm way better looking than this guy.
I was going to say, this guy's better looking. Oh, that's special.
Okay. Ihan just jatketaan haastattelua jätkien kanssa, sitä ennen kuitenkin katsotaan Megadethin video Symphony of Destruction. So Dave, I heard you practice some martial arts. So what is the actual martial art that you do?
Sangam Taekwondo, I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and Aikido Karate, things like that.
You still use bodyguards though? Or
that little tiny English guy right there, that's my bodyguard.
He's your bodyguard?
Yeah.
Was there a time when you used bodyguards? Or
yeah, there was, but then there came a time where I realized that most of the people that come up to me aren't coming around to mess with me, and the more that I learned about self-defense, the more I realized that it ain't about fighting, it's about, learning some discipline, and I haven't really had any problems.
You starred on one TV movie called Black Scorpion about a month ago in America, so did you do martial arts there? Or
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, it was for TV, so it's a little different when you're fighting for TV because, it's really exaggerated. If I was going to punch you, my hand would come way out this way, and then go around your face, and it would look like, it's really exaggerated. But for the camera, it's different. The guy that was in the series with me, was another actor and said he knew martial art too, and I don't think he did. I thought he was just bragging. So I said okay, and he wanted to you know, do his own stunts, and so I flipped him, and when he hit the ground, it was like, ugh, and I knew he was hurt. So I kind of decided at that point I wasn't going to get rough with him.
Well, was it like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Chuck Norris thing, like the whole movie, or?
No, it was just, there was 3 fight scenes. There was one scene where the star of the show's a girl. She's supposed to be a superhero, and she tries to fight me, so I kick her ass. And then this other guy, you know, I'm an arsonist, I'm lighting fires, and this fireman tries to catch me and stop me, so I kick his ass, and then I throw him into this nuclear reactor, and he turns into this super villain, and then he catches me again and tries to fight me again, and we fight for a while, and he hits me in the face with an axe, and he lights me on fire, and I run off burning, and that's it.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't any dangerous or anything.
Well, he hit me over the head with a coffee pot a couple times in the episode. It was part of the fight scene. It was one of those ones that break away. And he did it twice, and the second time I thought, if you don't get it right this time, that's it.
About a half year ago, last summer, you had a gig on Mexico City with Mötley Crüe, and the Mötley Crüe had to stop their gig after you guys, and then you came back to the stage. So what happened there?
No, we didn't go back to the stage. What happened was, there's a kid up front, he's got a Megadeth shirt on, and he's holding up the shirt, and he's going, and he's basically saying, you know, fuck yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I understood that because I know how excited people are to watch us play. And I went, shh, chico, tranquilo, which means, you know, chill out.
Yeah.
And Nicky didn't react quite as well. He jumped off the stage and hit him upside the head with his bass, and then Vince jumped in after him, and the guy's little, you know.
Yeah.
I saw how big he was, and the fans there reacted. They started chanting Megadeth, and Motley got pissed and ran off stage, and they ripped the seats up and started burning them, and they went back out and did one more song, and they did Home Sweet Home, and you couldn't even hear it. They were chanting Megadeth so loud, so that was it. They canceled.
But does people always try to piss you off at the stage? Do they?
Who, me?
No, all of you guys. I mean.
I think some people, when they're there and they're excited, they do things and they don't really realize what they're doing. You know, there are some people that buy tickets just to go mess with the artists, but I really don't let it bother me because I can take care of myself.
About 10 years ago or 15 years ago, there was a lot of talk of the speed metal. And nowadays the music is still the same, but nobody talks about the speed metal anymore, at least not here in Finland. So, so how is that? Where's
well, I think the speed metal scene kind of went underground, and it turned into a couple other things. With death metal and black metal, a lot of the really good speed metal bands started following that kind of music. And you don't really hear much about thrash metal anymore either. A lot of those bands that were successful back then, they either broke up or they're doing something different. Not a lot of them are around. The only ones that I know that are still around are us, Slayer, Anthrax, Metallica. There's a couple other bands that are from back then that are still together, but they're not doing anything.
How come there's so many like one-hit artists in the world?
Because they suck. They do one good song and that's it. They have their whole life to write one song. You know, it's really hard to make a good second record. But you only have about 2 years to write your second record.
But people talk about a lot that record companies want to push their artists to make more, and they just cannot. And that's it.
Well, I agree that a lot of them can't. You know, like I was saying, you have your whole life to write your first record, and then as soon as it's done, they say, we need another one from you, and you have only 2 years to do that. It's really hard to make that happen. And the record company, usually what they want you to be successful because it's for profit. A lot of record companies, they don't really care about the artist, they just want the money. And we're with a label right now that is managed, it's owned and operated by the guys that manage Iron Maiden, so they totally understand heavy metal, and one of the first things they said, you know what, we'd like you to use your logo, not the new one, the old one, and I said, thank you. We want Vic back on the cover. I said, thank you, because Capitol wanted us to get rid of our logo, they wanted us to get Vic off the cover, and they even asked us to change our band name.
For what?
Because they didn't like the name Megadeth.
But what was the suggestion, or was there?
To sell more records.
But for the name, did they suggest something?
Did they have a suggestion?
Yeah.
No, I think they wanted me to come up with something.
Okay. Hey, on your last record, there was a video clips on the record from the studio. So, are you planning to do something more in the future?
Like how we made the record? We actually filmed some of it at our website, Megadeth.com. There's some little sections of Al and I doing some recording of some of the last songs that we did. And we're currently assembling a DVD for release later this year that has a lot of the recording process and the songwriting process on it.
What do you think about the whole Napster thing?
It doesn't really bother us that much. I mean, you know, when we were growing up, tape trading was a big part. Dave's first band, or his previous band, you know, that's how everybody heard of that band.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you know, if you had a copy of some record that I didn't, oh, check this out, you know, you'd bring it over to my house, we'd listen to it, somebody would copy it, and it would circulate around. Yeah. It didn't take away from record sales, because as soon as the band would put the record out, you'd run to the store and buy it because you were excited about getting a copy of it. You know, I don't really think that Napster's, you know, going to do anything, unless if you download one of our songs and then sell it, and you're making a profit on it, well, then that's a problem. But if not, it's just, you know, kind of glorified tape trading.
Niin, katso, nyt tässä vaiheessa meillä on mahdollisuus, tai itse asiassa meidän pitää mennä mainoskatkolle, ja mainoskatkon jälkeen teillä on hyvät chanssit soittaa kavereille ja kysyä vähän kysymyksiä.